Watch your step in the stitches. You'll want to find another place to rest your feet, stranger. These stitches are about to burst. It won't be much longer before the whole place unravels, as it were. There's a new Khajiit in charge, Khasda, and he enjoys throwing his weight around. Between this one and you, most in the stitches find Khasda's leadership lacking, but none will stand up to him, though this one heard rumors Tasnasi is back. No friend of Khasda's, this one can tell you. She's recruiting for a job, or so the rumors say. This one doubts she'll have much luck convincing someone local to make an enemy of Khasda, but someone passing through. Last I heard, Tasnasi was camped on the north rim of the scar, but this one doubts she'll stick around for long. The moment Khasda catches wind of her, he'll have her throat slit. It's the closest thing to a settlement out here. Imagine a river hold on the edge of a cliff, painted with rum and horse dung. Then invite every outlaw, bandit, and exile to live there. That's the stitches. You didn't hear this from me, but he's a thug who thinks he's a king. Sits in Merville Keep, counting coin and letting his thugs run the stitches into the ground. Well, deeper into the ground. A thief who got run out of town not long after Khasda took over. He's the only one worth robbing in the stitches, so my gold's on her job involving his ill-gotten gains. Gutsy to cross Khasda, but he already wants her dead. What she got to lose?
Tasnasi does not know you. That's good. She knows everyone in the stitches. Those who aren't in Khasda's pocket, she can count on one paw. This one has a job for someone who'd rather pick it. An unknown face like yours is just what she needs. Khasda, the dung-eater that runs the stitches, has a hoard of gold beneath Merville Keep. Tasnasi plans to make it hers. Ours. If you're interested, we need to move soon. The stitches gets worse by the day. Khasda may leave, and his coin with him. To take from Khasda is no crime. His predecessor, Dashing the Salzo, amassed the coin. Khasda only wallows in it, like a pig in its filth. A cruel, stupid pig. Now he lets the stitches shuffle to ruin. This is his just punishment. We also need Tasnasi's old crew, Vol, Sarin, and Nazdar. Vol just did a job for Jubani. He'll be at her junk shop. Sarin's likely at the Goiter's Gulp, and Nazdar caterwauling somewhere. We'll meet in the bowl at the bottom of the scar. Who do you want to know about? Best damn mechanist this side of Nibbin Bay. Not a common trait for a wood elf, this one knows, but it is true. Khasda's stronghold uses strange mechanisms to keep uninvited visitors out. Voles are passed through them. Maybe not the most distinguished mage in Elsweyr, but the best Tasnasi is likely to get in the stitches. She spends more time with her head in a bottle than a book, but once she's dried out, she'll be invaluable for reaching the vaults unnoticed. The old adept was something back in his day. Tasnasi heard he could break a boulder with his little claw. He doesn't fight much anymore, but he still has some moves. This one has seen them personally. He flows like water and is as silent as wind. Keep it quick. There's a lot to be done before we relieve Khasda of his riches. The lowest. Khasda clawed his way to the top of the stitches with treachery and fear. The stitches hasn't known law, but under Dashing the Salzo, it knew relative peace, common purpose. Now it falls into anarchy. Khasda won't stop it, he creates it. The leader of the stitches, before Khasda, he's dead and gone. All you need to know is, what was his is now Khasda's, soon to be ours. A den of outlaws in the shape of a town. There's not much to tell. What do you want to know? The facade of a legitimate business for Jubani the Fence. Her gang loots and scavenges items all over the scar. She has a Bandari's knack for selling junk for far more than it's worth. What passes for a tavern in the Stitches. The Averno twins run a money-lending and pawn operation out of it. Don't let them sweet-talk you into any favors. They may seem harmless, but everything has a price with those two, and everyone pays. The sewer beneath Mervale Keep. We'll be able to gather there without attracting any unwanted attention, and it'll become clear why once you arrive. Thoroughness is an uncommon virtue in the Stitches. Go on and ask.
Ropes off of me. Jubani and I had a deal. I delivered.
True. But why keep paying when we can just make you do it for free? Now get inside.
What? What is it? Hey, you're not one of Jubani's thugs. Can you get me out of here?
I didn't
I'm
want
getting
to
out of
call
here.
the guards,
Catch up to me so
but
I can thank
forced
you
my
properly.
hand.
Thanks for your help back there. Jubani and her thugs are a bunch of hammers that think everything is a nail. Geniuses included. Altruism isn't a thing in the Stitches. So what do you want? Need a lock picked? Something repaired? Tasnasi, huh? That's funny. I was just thinking about her recently, seeing what's gone on around this dump. How it's gotten, dumpier than usual. But she's pulling together a job. I swore that Khasda ran her out of town when he took over. Last time I ran my mouth, Jubani sent her unexpectedly handsome thugs after me. I'm not spilling any more secrets. But it's nice to know Tasnasi's still around. She really loves this place after all. Even after everything that's happened to her. Well, Jubani's sure to notice I'm missing. Joining up with a crew seems like a good way to keep my fingers unbroken. So sure, whatever Tasnasi's playing at, I'm in. The bowel. Well, that's ironic. I'll head there after I get my tools and find another pair of small clothes. That Khasda ran her out of town? Or tried to, I guess. It's not any secret. He may be a rancid pile of cat vomit, but this is his town now. He does what he wants. Bad blood. Truth told, Tasnasi would have been charged after dashing to Salzo died, if things hadn't gone down the way they did. It's not my place to say anything more than that. Jew Bonnie runs the biggest salvage operation in the Stitches, and she knows she gets paid more if a salvage is in pure junk. When a crew found stuff that wasn't busted up, I fixed it. For pay. Khasda happened. He took over the Stitches and didn't care if people broke oaths, contracts, or ribs. Jew Bonnie saw a chance to get more labour for free. Just had to flex a little muscle. Don't let my rippling physique fool you. I'm, not much in a fight. Well, most don't. And to be fair, I wasn't always the brilliant tinkerer I am today. I don't know what caused the change, honestly. I think eating that soul gem had something to do with it. Well, I didn't just pluck one up and eat it. I was scouting for the Dominion way north. Some ruin called Sarathal. I was running from some guards when I fell into a shaft. And fell. And fell. It was a long fall. Caught a ledge at the last minute. Broke my fall. And my fingers. Real mess. Anyway, I found myself in this strange cavern. Huge. Had dwarven ruins. Biggest I've ever seen inside of it. More stone and metal than I could imagine. Not so much food. Not quite. I finally managed to find a charis. A big bug. Tastes awful, don't recommend it, but I ate like my life depended on it. I mean, it did. I half remember a glowing stone going in my mouth. Swallowed it whole before I even realised. More like indigestion, but also this indescribable urge to fiddle with the ruins. Well, I guess I call it curiosity. But anyway, I fixed an elevator like it was second nature and got back home. Then I got discharged on account of my weekend.
Said Nalitha the avuncular, even in somber times must the wayfarer be offered greetings. Nazdar greets you, wayfarer, though his times are somber indeed. What brings you to this one? Hotaza the corpulent often said, the forgetting of friends is a grievous wrong. Wise words. Tasnasi has not visited him in some time, but this one has not forgotten her. So believe Nazdar when he regretfully declines her invitation. This one has lost a prized possession, a lute gifted by a dear, departed friend. It has buoyed Nazdar's soul for so long, he sinks without it. Weighed down as such, he cannot be the fleet walker Tasnasi needs him to be. Truly? This one was practicing his lute in the canyon below, but his playing attracted irascible beasts. He was forced to leave it behind as he scrambled up the cliffs. The truth, however, noxious is sweeter than rose blossom, to quote the venerable Bate. Nasdar plays, but not well. The others throw things at him when he practices, so he plays where he can be alone. A saint. He once led the Stitches, not to glory perhaps, but away from shame. Even saints do not live forever, nor did he. But as Ballant the Canonical said, the dead recalled in good memories are the true saints of our lives. The truth. As Zubacha the Hermit said to Intasi after returning from his grand pilgrimage, "Hello. This one is cheered to see you without the blemishes of harm." As often said by Polu the Overstating, this is worthy of celebration. You have done this one a great turn. In the dark days the Stitches find themselves in, it is good to hold a memory of brighter times. Your kindness reminds Nasdar of the love dashing Tasalzo had for the Stitches in life. This one recalls many joys in the company of Tasnasi and the others. He would like to feel them again. Nasdar will go where Tasnasi bids. A life of decades cannot be reckoned in minutes, so the blind poet has taught us. But Nasdar will do his best. The Stitches was once like it is today, a refuse pit of the spirit, home of vice, self-interest, and the vain depravities of life. De Salzo came to the gangs of the Stitches and showed them a common foe, Euraxia's armies. We harried them, stole from them, bled them dry, and we formed bonds. To quote Aidino the Aphoric, the greatest gift the indolent can receive is purpose. His death did not rip those bonds apart, but without De Salzo's care in keeping them tight-knit, they are unraveling nonetheless, and Khasda is pulling at the threads. But some, like Nasdar, keep De Salzo's memory and his hope. Nasdar knows you see more ribs than muscles on him. This is true, but he once was a brother of the Whispering Claw, so dedicated to that life he was, that he took a vow of silence. You have read the works of Vekla the Ephemeral. Nasdar is glad to know a fellow student. Yes, Nasdar was silent for 19 years, but one night in moonlight he heard through his cell a song, a simple tune but captivating. Some peasant tune hummed by a swineherd going home, but a Jarasti moonsinger said, "Beauty is not in the art, but in what it instills." In that moment, Nasdar knew he must sing, so he broke his vow and left the adeptorium to make music. You can make art for others, said Erka of the Bard College, or for yourself. Nasdar knows he is not good enough to make art for others, But dashing the Salzo always encouraged Nasdar to make art for himself. Nasdar will never forget that.
Careful where you flaunt your wealth, Walker.
What in the moons? Ah, my fur! What was in this bucket? Whatever your death wish is, it's granted! Oh, my head. Just tell me what you're doing here before I turn your heart into a tomato. Oh, really? Tasnasi still kicking around? A little good news to go around with all this bad. Like a fly in wine. Be careful of the wine, by the way. There's flies in it. I didn't say that. Well, what I mean is that I'd like to, but if Tasnasi wants me for my magical skill, I have some bad news. My focus is gone. I mean my other focus. My arcane focus. A bauble to focus magica. I'm useless without it. I may have planned it. To Lulius and Scipio never know. I'd give the gold back, but Khasda's really gouging the price of a bottle these days. Even the swill in this flop house. The Avernos are inside. Get my focus back, and I'll owe you. Ugh, well, sometimes my power gets a little out of control. The Mages Guild was supposed to help me master it, but they take a dim view of people breaking curfew and getting drunk on kitchen duty, and throwing up in the soup. When I need to cast a spell, I channel my magicka through the focus. It helps me weave everything together. Without it, my spells come out like tangled yarn, and the results are, well, unpredictable. Lulius and Scipion, they sit in the goitered cups like they own the place. Well, they do technically own it, but that's not the point. Ever since Khasda took over, the twins have doubled everyone's rent and the amount of water in the drinks. Because Khasda gets a nice kickback from all the money they bring in. And for good or ill, well, actually just ill. Khasda's in charge here, so he has the muscle. So the rest of us sit quietly and pay twice as much to get half as drunk.
Scars, I saw what you did, and I called the guard.
Oh, don't feel the need to rush out so soon. I rarely have the chance to make new acquaintances. Especially with Julius breathing down my neck day and night. Not that I always mind it. Stave off boredom, for a start. Begging a few vagrants to fight for a limp purse is the closest thing one gets to the Colosseum around here. Though it is fun watching Brother Dearest try to squeeze more gold from this toad of a town. You mean you don't know? Oh, my brother and I will need to keep our eyes on you, amongst other things. We're entrepreneurs. We lend money, rent land, arrange deals, for increasingly immodest percentages. Oh, don't feel the need to rush out. That rancid-smelling thing? I can't believe my brother paid mostly honest gold for it. Probably cursed. He should just be rid of it and be done with the whole torrid affair. Speaking of torrid affairs, well, perhaps later. Well, you do seem to look like someone well-equipped to deal with this sort of thing. Julius owes me a favor, so I'll call it in for you. The trinket is yours. You can find it in a jewelry box behind the counter.
Blah, can't get the taste out of my mouth. It's awful. Good, Khasda's made the stitches unpalatable, like that swill he's got the tavern pouring. I'm ready to get out, but I wouldn't mind batting Khasda's tail along the way. I'm sure Tasnasi feels the same. I need a moment or two. Look, I'll meet you at the bowl once the world stops spinning. Look, you seem halfway decent, so don't stick your muzzle too far in, alright? Tasnasi's got her own business, and I know too much about it already. I don't drink just because I like the flavor of the tavern's bilge. I'm hazy on the details. To be honest, I'm hazy on a lot of things these days. But I know Tasnasi can't show her face in the stitches, and it's not just Khasda that'd like to see her dead. You've seen the type of people who call the stitches home. Thieves, smugglers, deserters. Nobody keen on laws. Of the few rules we have, she broke the one you don't break. Murder. I've said more than I should have already. It's in the past. Tasnasi had her reasons. She always has her reasons. Not that I ever got to hear them. She's not going to stab you in the back if that's what's worrying you. Keep your mind on the job. Just a mage looking for something at the bottom of a bottle. I don't really know. And if I'm being honest, I don't know if I ever knew. Look, you seem halfway decent.
That's everyone. Tasnasi must speak with you. Tasnasi has not seen her old crew in some time. Not since... Never mind. You were not followed, yes? Tasnasi is not welcome in the stitches. Associates of Tasnasi, also not welcome. Khasda was lieutenant to Dashin de Salzo. Tasnasi as well, until he was found with her knife in his back. No one cared if she was innocent. They wanted someone to blame, and Khasda gave them an answer. After everything, they turned their backs on her. It's not. No, you're right. Tasnasi says she hates this place. She should hate this place. But the Stitches is her home, her family. Tasnasi won't sit idle while Khasda destroys it. Her reasons aren't important. We should discuss the plan. Today, we hit Khasda right under his nose. We'll break into the basement of the Mirville Keep through this sewer, so long as Vol can pick the locks.
Ah, locks. Cute. Might as well be fancifully knotted ribbons to me.
Good. At the courtyard, we'll have sentries, but Serene's teleportation spell should let us pass unnoticed.
Were you talking to me?
We'll enter the palace through a second-floor storage room. Nazdar will scale the wall and drop a rope for us.
As spake Urwa the Observant. I see.
Tasnasi and the newcomer will handle any trouble that comes our way. Let's get started. Nice to see you back at work, Bo.
Good to be working. You're less of a taskmaster than Jew, Bunny. Now, let's find some more locks.
Good luck, and work quickly.
There's the lock. Watch my back, won't you? One down. Let's get going. Might need an ebony pick for this one. You know the drill. A bit stiff, that one. Glad I keep machine grease in my hair. Khasda's done some redecorating, I see. Not sure I like it. Keep the coast clear, won't you? There. Hopefully that's the last of them. My fingers are getting sore. Hey, that's our way to the courtyard.
They're through. No lagging behind.
Keep up!
Serene, it's your turn.
Everyone stand still. You're making me crazy. Just need to concentrate. Focus the power. Imagine the destination. All right, here we go.
What the...
So far, so good. Now, Vol.
You're sure?
To quote the barkeep, you look sick.
That's not good.
This one prefers his feet.
Thought I lost you. Moons, you're not hurt, are you? All your limbs in place? And Nazdar's looking pretty good, actually. Now the not good. You and Nazdar didn't quite make it to where I intended, and it will be a while before I can cast something like that again. You'll have to make your own way here. There is a basic rule of spellcraft. Do not attempt while drunk, or while recently drunk. Never been great with rules. I ended up losing control of the spell while attempting to teleport you and Nazdar. Sorry about that. Tasnasi wants you and Nazdar to make your way to the base of the South Tower. That's where we're waiting. She also was very insistent. Avoid killing any of the guards. Northwest? East? Ish? You have to come through the courtyard, which means avoiding patrols. Don't get caught. Tasnasi is going to be pretty upset if you kill anyone. She says it will raise alarms, but I know the truth. It's because Tasnasi used to run with them. They were all part of Dashing Dasalso's crew back in the day. She tries to act like she doesn't care about them after they exiled her, but it's a lie.
Walk softly, Master Hendo taught me. If we get into trouble, be warned. I cannot help. My fists are weapons no longer. Soft as a whisper, quick as a shout. The first finger of the Whispering Claw teaches. As the second finger of the Whispering Claw says, shadows consume curiosity, time, and interest. Heed the third finger of the Whispering Claw. Distance is greater than any weapon.
You made it, both of you. Tasnasi is glad.
Sorry about that. When this is all done, I'll buy you a drink.
Moon's mercy, Serene. When we're done here, I will smash every bottle of wine in Elsweyr.
Not if I drink them first.
Nazdar, you're our way into this tower. Ready?
The ascent of the body is nothing compared to that of the soul. Saint Yosito spoke wisely.
Your knees shouldn't make that noise, right?
They should make no noise, Vol.
Nazdar did well to get us inside, but it looks like this strain was more than he could handle. He needs rest, which means Tasnasi needs to change her plans. Vol is the closest thing we have to a healer. He might be able to get Nazdar moving again, but he needs time, which means he won't be able to pick the locks on Khasda's vaults. Tasnasi wants you and Serene to get the vault keys. This one has other business in the palace. When she's done with it, she will meet you at the entrance to the vault, on the lower floors. Tasnasi has always said she was innocent of the Salzo's death, and she knows in her heart that Khasda was behind it. She must have proof, not to show the stitches, but to quiet her own soul. She needs that more than her share of the gold. Take care getting the keys. The thugs in this palace are Khasda's most loyal, and just as vicious and cruel as he. Expect no mercy, and give none. Serene will help. Yes, Tasnasi has gotten used to being on her own, ever since the Salzo died. She knows this place like the back of her paw. She'll be fine. Nazdar has to stay behind. He's in no condition to creep through the palace right now. Hopefully Vol can get him back on his feet in time for an expedient departure. As long as they stay back in this old storeroom, they should be fine. That was different. Many of the keep's guards were close to the Salzo. They follow Khasda only because they must. The lapdogs in this palace are loyal to Khasda alone. The ones who are closest to Khasda do not show loyalty because they are virtuous, but because he allows them to indulge their worst impulses. I am not telling you to punish them, only that they won't be missed by anyone in the stitches.
There you are. He's got her. He's got her.
Keep it down. What are you talking about?
Khasda, he and his bodyguard, biggest I've ever seen. They cornered Tasnasi and took her back there. You have to save her.
You're always naive, Tasnasi. You and the sons of both. Purpose of the future. There's a narrow-conceived knife behind
Tasnasi will claw your eyes out.
You have one friend left in this world, it seems. Not for much longer. Cut! You'll regret crossing Khasda!
He's getting away. Untie me! After him!
Please, Tasnasi, spare me!
Shut up, Khasda. One more word from your lying tongue and Tasnasi will claw it out. He did it. Everything Tasnasi suspected him of. He killed the Salzo. He had her take the blame. He was proud of it. Now that I have my claws at his throat, he discovers the meaning of mercy. He took this one's home from her, the only one she has known, and he couldn't give it back if he wanted to. She has no proof but his word. Even if he confessed and cleared her name, the stitches she would return to is not the one she left behind. One joy is left to Tasnasi, to kill Khasda. Then she leaves this all behind her, for good. The Salzo is dead. Everyone Tasnasi has ever known turned their back on her. The stitches are in shambles. Why would this one ever want to return to such a place? You are right. Tasnasi has tried to forget, tried to move on. Not a night goes by that she doesn't dream of times past. She knows what must be done. Tasnasi will make this one face the justice of the stitches. Wait for her at the tavern in town. Tasnasi will only make this offer once. Confess to the stitches for all you have done, and she will not try out your torture devices for herself.
Tasnasi, you win!
Get up. All the stitches will hear the truth from your lips before the day is done. My friend. No, more than that. Family. Khasda's deeds have been made known to the stitches. Tasnasi's name is cleared. For now, at least, there is something to drink to. Or, in Serene's case, something else to drink to. Now Tasnasi is home, and you enjoy her hospitality. Raise a mug, kick up your feet, and count your coin. There is much to be done to fix the damage Khasda did, but that is for Tasnasi to worry about. Your work is done, even if hers is just beginning. Strange as it seems, Tasnasi is not only forgiven in the stitches, she is looked up to. It will take time for the Stitches to be as it was. Maybe it will never get there, but even if she cannot live up to Dashing the Salzo's legacy, Tasnasi will try. So much as anyone can be in charge of the Stitches. With Khasda in exile, there's hope of going back to how it was, how Dashing the Salzo saw it. They have not entirely forgotten him, or Tasnasi. She'll do her part. We all will. The job is done. Their lives are their own. But Tasnasi wants to make life better in the Stitches, and she will need help to do so. She could use them, Vol's tinkering, Serene's magic, Nazdar's wisdom, if they will offer it. So much as anyone can.
Well, we didn't get into the vault. Normally I'd call the job a wash, but it seems like Tasnasi owns the vault now, so I guess you could say the job was a success. Funny how things work out.
Do not mistake a righted wrong for an undone wrong, I believe is the mantra of Gautfang Master Junri. Nazdar is glad to know Tasnasi's name is restored, but perhaps gladder to know she faced this tragedy and overcame it.
How many of those Averno brothers are there? It's like a couple more every time I look over. I swear they're multiplying.